took a big swing, and thank God you hit that ball out because
it could have gone very badly.
It could have gone very, very
it
badly.
Still go badly.
Well,
we're witnessing the spectacular implosion of George Clooney's Golden Boy image. Quarter 4 of 2024 has been nothing short of a cinematic disaster. Only this time, Clooney isn't the charming hero. He's the guy everyone loves to hate. The backlash, brutal. Let's dive into how Hollywood's Golden Boy became its latest cautionary tale. A lot has been said about Hollywood celebrities and their breakdowns, but I don't think we've ever witnessed one go down like this. The backlash has never been higher, and everywhere you look, Clooney's actions are nothing short of panicking. He is being locked out of studios, and the business that was once loyal to him is no longer welcoming. Major blockbuster roles? Forget about it. Clooney's name is becoming toxic, and no one wants to touch him. Not with a 10-foot pole. It's like watching a star go supernova, only instead of a brilliant explosion, it's just a slow, awkward implosion. But here's where it gets juicier. Clooney, in a last-ditch effort to reclaim his tarnished reputation, has been shamelessly trying to book appearances on major talk shows. And, oh boy, is it backfiring? Case in point, Real Time with Bill Maher. Clooney's team begged, yes, begged to get him on the show, thinking it would be the perfect stage for his grand comeback. They wanted him to spill his guts, drop some juicy political revelations, and essentially grovel for public forgiveness. But Bill Maher, he wasn't having it, not even a little.
The person who should be applauded is the president who did the most selfless thing that anybody's done since George Washington. And that's really the truth. And all the rest of it will be long gone and forgotten. And so I'm just very proud of where we are in the state of the world right now, which I think many people are surprised by. And I think we're all very excited for the future.
Maher and the HBO executives shut Clooney down hard. They flat out refused to give him airtime. And it wasn't just a polite, no thank you. Word is, Maher himself personally intervened, telling his team to block Clooney at every turn. Why? Because Maher apparently believes Clooney's appearance would tank his show's ratings, and let's not forget the alleged personal issues between the two. Oh yes, there's drama behind the scenes. Clooney's camp reportedly went back to HBO 3 times, trying to renegotiate, begging for just a crumb of airtime. But Maher, stone cold, he shut it down every time. And it's not just Maher. Clooney also got iced out by The View. Sunny Hostin herself reportedly vetoed his appearance, believing it would be a ratings disaster. She wanted nothing to do with him, nothing. Can you imagine? George Clooney, once the golden boy of Hollywood, begging to be on talk shows and getting turned away like an unpopular prom date? It's almost too much.
Losers look in the mirror. No? Well, maybe you should, sorry. Well, that's my feeling. Losers look in the mirror, okay? You know, yeah.
At this point, Clooney's options are dwindling. He's reportedly trying to get on the Howard Stern show as his next desperate move. But will Stern bite? That remains to be seen. Meanwhile, Clooney is said to be taking all of this rejection very personally. Behind the scenes, sources say he's fuming, and who can blame him? The man who once commanded Hollywood's attention is now reduced to pleading for airtime, only to be met with slammed doors. And let's not forget why this is all happening. The backlash stems from a disastrous political commercial that Clooney starred in, along with some controversial comments he made in its aftermath. The public wasn't impressed. In fact, they were enraged. And now the fallout is spreading like wildfire. Hollywood is eating its own, with studios, directors, and talk show hosts scrambling to save themselves by cutting ties with anyone, even Clooney, who might drag them down. The Hollywood bubble is bursting, and Clooney is caught in the crossfire. The once untouchable star is now a pariah, and the industry is showing no mercy. It's every man for himself out there, and Clooney's efforts to claw his way back are only making the spectacle more tragic, and let's be honest, more entertaining. As for Maher, he's protecting his brand, plain and simple. He's not willing to risk his show's reputation to give Clooney a platform, no matter how desperate the actor gets. And The View, same story. Everyone is scrambling to distance themselves from Clooney as fast as possible. But let's dive deeper into this whirlwind of chaos, because the drama doesn't stop there. Clooney's desperation is starting to look more like a public meltdown. Sources close to the actor claim he's been throwing around phrases like betrayal and blacklisting in private conversations, accusing Hollywood elites of turning their backs on him in his time of need. And you know what? He's not entirely wrong. The very industry that helped him build his empire is now watching him crumble, and no one's offering a helping hand. Take, for instance, the major studios. Once upon a time, Clooney's name alone could greenlight a $100 million blockbuster. Now, he's reportedly being offered scraps, low-budget indie projects, and roles that would have been beneath him just a few years ago. It's a brutal fall from grace, and it's happening in real time. The gossip mills are buzzing with stories of Clooney's team frantically pitching him to anyone who will listen, but the response has been overwhelmingly cold. The man who once had Hollywood eating out of the palm of his hand is now begging for a seat at the table, and it's not a good look. And what about his personal life? While Clooney has always been private about his family, insiders suggest that even his close friends are starting to distance themselves. The whispers in Hollywood circles are brutal. He's toxic. He's a liability. No one wants to be associated with him right now. It's like high school on steroids, and Clooney is the kid who just got uninvited from the pool table. Now let's circle back to The View. Sonny Hostin's decision to block Clooney's appearance wasn't just a power move, it was a message. By refusing to have him on the show, Hostin essentially declared that Clooney's presence would do more harm than good. And if that's not a nail in the coffin, I don't know what is. Hostin's veto reportedly caused a stir behind the scenes, with Clooney's team scrambling to change her mind. But Hostin stood firm, and the answer was a resounding no. It's a humiliating blow for Clooney, who's not used to hearing the word no, especially not from daytime television hosts. And what about Bill Maher? The fallout between him and Clooney is even messier. According to insiders, Maher's refusal to let Clooney on Real Time wasn't just about ratings. There's bad blood between the two, stemming from a private disagreement that has apparently been simmering for years. Some say it's political, others say it's personal. Whatever the case, Maher's decision to shut Clooney out is a significant blow, as it's left HBO, one of the last major networks that Clooney had a shot with, completely off the table. Now, Clooney's Hail Mary appears to be the Howard Stern show. Sources say he's hoping Stern's no-holds-barred format will allow him to tell his side of the story without the filters and restrictions of traditional talk shows. But even Stern, who's known for giving controversial figures a platform, is reportedly hesitant. It's a gamble, and one that could backfire spectacularly if Stern decides to grill Clooney instead of giving him a sympathetic ear. The Hollywood bubble is bursting, and Clooney is caught in the crossfire. The once untouchable star is now a pariah, and the industry is showing no mercy. It's every man for himself out there, and Clooney's efforts to claw his way back are only making the spectacle more tragic. And, let's be honest, more entertaining. But let's not forget why this is all happening. The backlash stems from a disastrous political commercial that Clooney starred in, along with some controversial comments he made in its aftermath. The public wasn't impressed. In fact, they were enraged. And now the fallout is spreading like wildfire. Hollywood is eating its own, with studios, directors, and talk show hosts scrambling to save themselves by cutting ties with anyone, even Clooney, who might drag them down. As for Maher, he's protecting his brand, plain and simple. He's not willing to risk his show's reputation to give Clooney a platform, no matter how desperate the actor gets. And The View, same story. Everyone is scrambling to distance themselves from Clooney as fast as possible. So what's next for George? A low-budget indie film? A surprise podcast appearance? Who knows? But one thing's for sure, the drama is far from over. Hollywood's once darling star is now its biggest cautionary tale, and the world can't stop watching the train wreck. Let's see how far this fall from grace goes.